Transcription of Dialogue B41-3R 10N. Humanoid Sentience, A Deep Delve. Presented by Dr. Bob Spiketail. DHD at humancon. 10-105 AD.
Welcome, welcome. Please, everyone find a row so we can begin.
Not too close. We all remember the incident in 9889. Audience chuckles. Wisps of smoke circle the cavern ceiling.
As promised and long awaited,
our morning speaker today, Dr. Spiketail. Loud roars of approval. Please, just Bob. My brood mother was Dr. Spiketail. Gentle laughs and snuffs from the audience. The air grows hazy.
I'll dive right in. Could literary simulacrums based on the concept of humanoid constructs, which I'll be calling humans for the duration of this lecture for ease, truly have sentience and emotional states?
No, of course not. There is a mild tussle and a gout of flame as the guards escort the unknown heckler away. Historic note, this was later determined to be S.M. Orgwing, a controversial writer known for the infamous novel Back and Back Again, Dwarves Are Just Dumb Lumps of Clay. Audience settles.
Well, it seems I have my work chomped out for me.
Audience gently chuckles.
Let's begin with an excerpt from a chapter of my best-selling scroll from a few centuries back, A Huddle of Humans, in which I explored, scientifically, what it would be like to meet a human. It's been called the most thorough analysis of mythology ever done, or an utter waste of 5 centuries, depending on who you ask. One could not simply meet a human in one's lair. Their bodies are too fragile, their minds too weak. The heat alone would melt their frail forms, and yet they still try. The poor buggers are just too enraptured by the lure of gold. Lacking the protective majesty of our own fine forms and sturdy hides, things quickly catch a tailwind to doom. Their brains would boil within their skulls, and their eyes would pop out like pumice exploding beneath a simple step. Their flimsy flesh would slough away as their fat sizzles and pops. Oof, grisly stuff. Yet, given all we know, they still reach, still try, still strain for riches, even though it would sear their hands right down to the bones. Now, I know this is quite a bold assertion, but if we look at every instance of them in mythology to date, does it not bear true? What human has been able to resist the lure of a horde? And what human can withstand our prowess? Yes? Is that a raised tail I see?
Scalesnout from audience. Historic note, Fafnir Scalesnout is the poet renowned for the ancient Eddas. The one I met did not want gold. There is a clatter of claws from the audience and whiffs of disapproval.
Let him speak. Elaborate, please, for the elucidation of all.
He cannot be burned. Mocking whiffs from the crowd. I am serious. My fire, my lair, lava, it all did nothing. Worse than nothing. He became able to understand the winged tongue. The audience grows agitated.
Surely you're not saying you've actually met a human?
They call themselves man and woman. The distinguishment between the terms is apparently quite important, but how to determine such minutiae eluded me. Roars fill the cavern, and jets of fire plume towards the rocky roof.
Order! We will have order here. Are you a pack of whelps?
You did not eat it? Him, and no.
You did not burn it?
Again, him, not it, and no.
No crushing, no munching, no burning, no breaking?
No, and no. Several years are missing from the transcription here. It appears a small riot occurred and took some time to quell.
If we are quite done pillaging and burninating the countrysides?
You must admit, Drakter, this is revelationary news. If true.
If true, of course.
What happened then, Mr. Scalesnout? He laughed when he met me. Another short burst of countryside destruction occurs. A new island is formed from the lava flows, coaxed forth.
I am moderating here.
Historical note, this declaration was largely ineffective.
Dragon sirs, dragon ma'ams, are we not here for knowledge?
The audience eventually grudgingly settles.
Continue, please, Fafnir, if I may call you Fafnir.
He did, impertinent fool. Yet...
Yes?
He spoke of love. Another riot is only prevented by a synchronized flame gas from every security personnel at once. Later lawsuits would demand to know why this measure was not immediately put into action, as pillaging is rather time-consuming and does get rather exhausting.
Humans are incapable,
and yet I've met one and realized otherwise.
Surely this protocol... my books...
That's all I have to say. He was in love, just as you find your mate and meld in the skies, twisting upwards, and then lurk in your lair, nesting for years, arguing over who gets to control the Palantir. He spoke of the same.
Impossible.
Perhaps not as majestic as us, and certainly far more fragile, but the core sentiment was the same. The crowd is, surprisingly, ominously, silent through this.
Well,
Us.
How?
Isn't that your job to figure out?
We'll now be taking questions.
The stage becomes lost in wisps of smoke, and the conversation from this point is drowned in cacophony. Historic note. This was the last time Fafnir Scalesnout was ever seen. Reports of his existence continually crop up, but most scholars believe the claw-marked communications to be forgeries.